play their game from a fundamental level. It's all going to be unknown to us right now, and that's what makes it so exciting right now. Taking a gander, it seems like it's going to be pretty early default for Gen.G as they're just looking to prod out towards different parts of the map. Subroza has effectively put his way in over towards Cubby, taking some incredibly early fights and doing it to a pretty, I was going to say lackluster degree, but Wardell will pick up the piece that managed to stay behind. Player 1 getting taken down in a 3 versus 4. Looking really, really good early on for TSM, but MkaeL is not going to be shown up just yet. He gets one onto Drone, one of the star players on TSM, and this is a wonderful start. Striking even. Still anybody's round.
Anybody's round indeed. 3 versus 3. Wardell catches the lurking MkaeL. That being said, Cutler looking to go back towards C long. Exactly where the round started off is caught as well. effys finds that. It's both remaining players, the Breach and the Sova, running forward. That being said, hazed is on a relatively quick flank here, and Wardell, the Jett, is looking to come through garage. So a pretty decent take. That being said, it's all up to how wise these players are. And in fact, they line up. Wardell finds the first and spots the second. A 3K to his name. He's looking for 4. effys, 1 HP in a 1 versus 2. It's near impossible to find the first. Oh, he'll find the second. It's a 3K in the round, and what a solid start for Gen.G. Heroics from effys to secure that round.
1 HP as well. That's the most important part of it. There is absolutely zero reason he should have won that round. The trade out was even, you know, a possibility as well, but just hit his shots, I guess, a little bit better towards the end of it. Really wise play by him to dance around that box, and it ended up doing absolute justice to the round. Gen.G will snatch that one away, but TSM aren't to be warded off just yet. They're going to be kind of... Actually, I was going to say they're going to force buy into it, but it makes sense that they're only bringing pistols into the works here. Kind of waiting for any early drone, or excuse me, any early darts coming through. Interesting setup here. I actually really like what TSM have going here. The flashbang I thought would actually do the trick, but no, they are not at all staved off by it. And the inevitable will indeed come to fruition. A couple of kills. 3 actually for Gen.G, and the cleanup will be just about as expected. Wardell will try to throw a spanner into the works here, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place as well. GMD picks up a triple on the round. And yeah, there we have it, the logical conclusion.
Indeed, effys finds that final call to hazed, and it's a solid 2-0 start, as you'd expect. Nothing crazy going on either way. Now is the big question mark. Now is where either A, Gen.G can really take off. They can buy, or not even buy, but go for the bonus round and then bring some rifle into the next that they pick up. Or it's where TSM, with the superior weapons, with the rifles purchased up, they have a Vandal and 4 Phantoms, could begin their win streak. It's all up to how this plays out. It's all up to how the SMGs are played by GMD, MkaeL, and huynh. We saw them use to great effect on Ascent, I believe, so this could be no different. That being said, Drone will find the first. That's all start. huynh has smashed one of the SMGs. GMD swinging up close. He'll find the trade, though, and keep the man count even. A very fast and very explosive play towards A long, but they're not committing as of yet. They aren't running forward and taking the site. Instead, after that initial engagement, they'll slow things down and to wait things out. Try to probe, maybe find a slight advantage, maybe even find another rifle before actually springing any plan into action.
Well, I mean, they have to be really, really scared. If you take a gander at your radar, you'll notice that there's actually a player already pushed into the attacker's spawn. They're essentially being kind of funneled into going A right here. And Drone basically has the game-winning play right there. He's already built his way up to a 3K in the round, and unfortunately, the 4K won't be a reality. GMD, I'm surprised he's actually going to be using his ult. This is so dangerous. I can't actually see this working out. It's a 2 versus 3. There's a chance, but the chance just seems so slim. You end up wanting to finish out over towards A. There's a 1-for-1, but it's kind of a 1 for none, really, at the end of the day. Cleanup, and the rotations will be swift from TSM, and they will get everything that they could ever hope for and a little bit more. Gen.G will be dropping that first gun round, but still striking even. That was a bit of a bonus. It's not the end of the world for Gen.G. They can still buy up rifles, and indeed, you're actually going to be seeing that operator already come into play. And that head-to-head is going to be ever more, I guess, present, ever more accurate, because it's just a matter of time before Wardell gets one in his hands as well. Has those knives online, and for effys has that Hunter's Fury, but otherwise, not many ultimates to really pay attention to.
Indeed, not many ultimates whatsoever. A slightly compromised buy for the attackers. We saw a light armor on 2 of those players, one of them being the operator. So we'll see if that has any effect on the round. I don't think it will unless a Phantom gets a lucky one-shot at range. Only time will tell, however. As things are much slower this time around and not nearly as committal. We have 2 players towards A long for the attackers, 3 towards C long, and meanwhile they completely forego middle. We have Phoenix all the way down. So very confident from the duelist agent. He's just going to sit there. He's going to not probe, not get over aggressive. Being over aggressive might just give his life away.
Stim beacon down.
No answer. But there's nobody there to trade him, really. Hazed is the lone player in towards garage to try to do so, but as I say that, as I try to make filler, players slowly start to look around towards A. 3 players walking forward. The bomb there as well. Subroza couldn't be better timed. Literally perfect. He's going to flank now right as those players cross.
Wrong way.
No, he is going the wrong way. You are correct. As now huynh will try to take contact out towards A. But in fact, it is a full retake setup. 1 player in heaven, that's it. That is the Cypher, the camera agent of Cutler. Spike plant is inevitable at this point. It will be a full retake. 5 versus 5. And as we know, these tend to get very chaotic as every post-plant position will be occupied.
This is a bit of an awkward setup for TSM. We're entering a 5 versus 5, and Gen.G were practically gifted this opportunity to get here in the first place. Now, not impossible for TSM to try to come back and make this happen. Indeed, they seem committed to the idea of trying to make it work. Wardell will pop those knives and trying to spring into action here. You would expect that updraft, forward air combo. I don't even know what it's called, that dash forward combo as well, but it doesn't even get off the ground, and he's already dead in the water. Pretty anticlimactic round, all things considered. Gen.G felt like given that.
Yeah.
Non-committal, and a couple of exit frags given to TSM, and a pretty bloody round at the end of the day, but not a really big attempt from TSM to try to take back control.
Not much of a chance. They really didn't commit. The flank coming through, kind of stuck in towards that lobby area, not going towards long, not going towards short, combined with the fact that a player towards heaven that was Cypher, unfortunately, never really had a window of opportunity with which he could seize. As a result, 3-1, a solid start for Gen.G, but again, it is a slightly attacker-favored map with 3 sites. That is the gimmick of this map, and as a result, you should expect them to get a little over 6, 7, or 8. So they're still on track, and this half is not nearly out of the control of TSM yet.
Get out of my way.
I'm really liking this early piece from Gen.G so far. They've immediately sent 3 players up towards C long. I thought the trade potential was actually going to be there, but no, they don't, again, seem very committed to it. A bit of a strange play from Gen.G, but I guess hindsight's 2020. Not the best spaced frags or anything of the sort. TSM will deal with that one just fine. As we enter that minute mark, still anybody's round. It's kind of an awkward scenario for Subroza to be in, and that's exactly why MkaeL will just absolutely dome him, remove his head, and remove him from the round here. Unfortunately, that run it back didn't really accomplish much of anything either. Somehow Gen.G have actually managed to stay afloat, however. But they're into the awkward part of a round where Cutler is in a round-winning position. I know Twitch chat roasted me for saying game-winning position, but you know what? It's round-winning position. There we are. It's the more appropriate phrase, and that actually was a really good round-winning position as well. But unfortunately, the Stinger can't quite do the job. Came a little bit closer than expected. Now, it's just probably going to be saving time for TSM. Is there any operators in play? I don't think they can grab any.
Doesn't appear so. Light armor being saved on Wardell, or if he has any, he's low on HP. It might have already been shot away. That being said, the key weapons being saved are those rifles. So, an anticlimactic end here as 2 players will survive, not even going for exits. Again, they're just holding towards C long. As the spike should go off here shortly. Yeah, MkaeL not hunting too hard. Neither is the breach nor the Sova. Of course, a nice close-in look at the capless Cypher. He has no cap. The neural threat was used. Cypher with no brim is what the production manager has called it. Very interesting take. As, again, furthering the lead here for Gen.G. Cautiously optimistic that this is a sign of things to come later on in this half. That being said, Wardell has brought it out. He's got the operator.
Oh, this is a nice spot.
Oh boy, well, this is where you get to see his flashy play in action. Unfortunately, huynh hasn't decided to pick one up over on the Gen.G territory. As for things to really note in particular, we're going to be seeing again TSM send 2 over towards short, 3 over towards short. They're completely giving up long A control. This is a bit interesting to me. Pressing hard for this one here, and they're getting a decent result already. Drone with the Hunter's Fury will be able to take down GMD, who has been a superstar for Gen.G just early on in this game. We're only 5 rounds deep into it. This being number 6, but that's a huge player to have taken out of the action. Trying to close the distance a little bit more and trying to make an awkward engagement happen. It's not going to work out for Gen.G whatsoever, as they're kind of, bashing their face into a brick wall at the moment. And really, TSM are holding no bars.
Yes, they are holding nothing back at this point. They need to get back into it. They're down by 3. This will be the round to start what could be a spat of rounds in a row. As things now begin to slow down. hazed, he's in towards garage with the Vandal. It's an awkward gun to use. effys is using it as well, but he'll win the duel in the end. As now player 1 rushes forward, the smoke will come forth, and it will be a C site play. That being said, there is a flank. Player 1 is aware of it. It's still up to the duel. Can he hit the shot? No, he cannot. Subroza will get that kill. The last alive is effys. He has 3 to his name now. It would require the ace. 1 coming from either direction. He's trying to find the first. He gets the spot, but he's given away his position as well in turn. Now struggling to choose which direction to fight. They're just playing it together. The crossfire is slowly being established. As the device slowly closes, it will be Subroza to find the kill, and it will be a second round for TSM.
Very scary situation for effys to be in as well. He did a good job at least dividing his fights right there, but as soon as that Molotov actually made contact, plus the camera, he forced himself, into a very awkward scenario. Not much he can really do. At least he got the spike down, and that's going to really help their economy down the line, because he will have enough to buy up, even if just barely. MkaeL is going to have to go ahead and pick up the Bulldog. Otherwise, you're going to be seeing those Phantoms, Vandals, and full armor as well. So good, pretty solid round from TSM. They managed to close that one out just fine. Honestly, I mean, it wasn't all too kind of deep compared to what I'm expecting out of Gen.G. So maybe we can be seeing. I mean, really, they've kind of neglected Garage for so long. I want to see a little bit more love given to that. But it is just a standard default for them so far. Indeed, there it is. The garage control. Be getting a little bit more love right on cue.
Right on
waiting right
cue.
outside. Are they? They should be flashing inside this, I believe, right? Okay, yeah, no.
Take flight.
Be droning in first. Okay, this is smart. I like the idea from Gen.G, but now they really need to find this kill right here. Orbital Strike is going to be used just to buy a little bit of space here, and then here comes the push into C as well. So many ultimates used, so many ultimates expended, so they're going to have really, really high hopes that they can make something happen with this. GMD will single-handedly make it so. A wonderful triple. Almost secures around at this point for Gen.G. And it's all on Cutler to try to prove me otherwise. At least he'll take down GMD, who has been the menace. But finding any more would just be a little bit of a pipe dream, much less winning the round.
Yes, it would. 4 players still alive at this point. 2 are already trying to go behind him. Nope, actually they're stopping. Cypher, as I said it, looking to go towards A's, instead just putting up his camera to spot that push. It's instead the Cypher of TSM just holding in towards the A link, now in back of B, hoping to find somebody hunting, but for the moment, his camera is keeping him safe. It looks like this rifle will be taken into the next round, and it looks like a 2-5 score. Gen.G now thoroughly in the lead. GMD. G, same thing. Who knows? Fantastic triple in through garage. 13 kills to his name. That's fantastic. On the other side of things, we have both player 1 and hazed kind of struggling. Both Brimstones. Don't like to point it out, but sometimes it is a factor here. I think it is. He's just struggling thus far. He still has plenty of time to get into it. But I'm a bit worried at the moment. Same with player 1. He's at 1 and 5. Not much better.
Come into the
Checks
unknown.
out player 1 and 5, right? But all these players are obviously more than capable of pulling off some insane rounds, insane plays. However, when TSM are basically only equipped with pistols, I don't really see that coming to fruition whatsoever. You see, kind of in non-committal positions over towards A, they're extending for an ult orb, and we'll just be kind of half committed to making a B take big attempt happen. Wardell has actually used the knives. That's a bit of an interesting one. Now, theoretically, they can make it work here, but they got to move quickly because they know Gen.G are going to be breathing down their necks right now. Great shock dart in from effys is going to buy them a little bit of space, and I thought he was actually going to push upon it, but no, he's going to be respecting it. TSM holding on with an iron fist. Trying to at least stay afloat. Probably a retake is not going to be, possible. If they get a couple of kills, suddenly they can find themselves back into this round. Trading blow for blow at the moment. Subroza has managed to take down one. GMD can just do them a little bit better. Cutler next on the board. Player one. I mean, hey, he said that you want him to come alive, and that is how you do it for sure. He gets 3 in the round, and basically he's going to secure number 6 for Gen.G.
Yes, he is. 3K. That is quadrupling the total kill count from 1 to 4. Amazing. Finally coming alive. Hazed. Hate pointing it out. 006, nearly 007. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition. It's a bit of a taunt used in Counter-Strike mainly because it showed KAD instead of KDA, but it still applies here. We'll have to see. That being said, I think Hazed will still have a great effect on the attacking side with those smokes. That's the most important thing about that Brimstone. He is critical, crucial for executes on this map with so many choke points that can be exploited by his utility. 2-6. Now, at the very least, we have a tied score, assuming TSM will win out for the remainder of this half, but it doesn't seem like that's a nice shock dart. It will. No, it does it.
Damage. It does
Tiny
a little
bit.
bit. Yeah. A couple of sprinkles of damage. Might make a difference if they're going up against a Phantom, but what's even more notable is the fact that the Brimstone is already out of the picture, excuse me. That means no smokes for this eventual execute. And that means very, very good things for obvious reasons for TSM. I don't need to be John Madden to get that one out. It's a little bit obvious at this point. This is just, I mean, it's kind of done before it even started. Not having smokes for an execute is basically just kind of suicide. They're running into the gauntlet nonetheless. And in the Knight's Gauntlet as well. It's a pretty fitting distinction. It's looking an awful lot like 3-6 right now, Pineapple Phillips.
Definitely looking like it, but never cut them out. There we go. I was waiting to see a jump peek actually connect, and Wardell does it. The last player alive, close at hand. He's been flashed, spraying away. Position is known. He found one. That is the operator, but it will be picked up shortly thereafter, and it will be a 3rd round for TSM, as you mentioned. Double operator setup is very interesting, can be risky, but I think it works more so in this game than other first-person shooters. So they will hold on to it. It's a massive investment they can't really afford to lose at this point. And I'm interested to see what Subroza will do with it. We saw him pushing down middle. Last time he kind of pushed a little bit, then fell back with the operator. It was kind of a weird play stuck in no man's land. But I want to see exactly what he has planned for it. This time it looks like he wants to go towards the A short position. Maybe with a flash or something similar. If not, just a straight dry peek. The operator is a scary weapon, even when used with such a basic setup.
Well, Wardell's in a pretty insane position right now. Look, he's already halfway up over towards A long, and that is why it is so monumental. He'll only be rewarded with 1 kill. His teammate will actually go down. His comrade in arms has been snuffed out. And the double operator doesn't seem to be getting off to a roaring start for TSM, but there's still plenty of time for it to actually realize its full potential. effys, meanwhile, will be watching the flank, taking down Hazed. Fortunate lurk, really. Wardell is still kicking. Actually, the breach roll is going to be used just to kind of solo him out, make him in a pretty awkward scenario. He's already quick on the rotate as well, so really at this point, I mean, they just need to try to focus down one person and really hope that they can win that duel, but since that's not going to be the case whatsoever, it's going to be effys, or Effy. And since he's French.
True.
Effy.
Astute.
Like that.
Astute
Exactly.
observation.
Thank you. Yeah, I have to be I'm a scholar.
Indeed.
But I don't have to be a scholar to know that this is pretty unlikely for him to win.
Never say never.
Oh, he's 1-on-1 versus 2, only with 1 HP, and last time he did it, an
I have the
operator is
spike.
basically going to force a really awkward duel for Wardell, but it's not even going to get that far. 4-6, TSM, they're striking back a little bit more. Cutler with a crucial frag. 3 ultimates on the board for TSM, with a 4th coming soon to a theater near you.
No double op anymore. for the defending side. Interesting. Subroza didn't have great effect with it in the last round. We saw him push down lower. He did go for the drive peek with the distraction from Jett towards the long, but Wardell was the only one to find success.
You know what to
Being
do.
said, Operator hitting miraculous shots. Very well done from Wardell. Even if Subroza couldn't really pick up where he left off, it was a valiant attempt. It was always worth the shot, right? So now, entering the next round, it's 4-6. It's more and more likely that we'll see a 6-6 now as TSM finally begin to wake up. It seems they often have those slow starts, but they do pick it up when it counts the most. That being said, it will be ults traded towards the C sides. In fact, 2 orbital strikes being traded, as now it looks like all of Gen.G are kind of stuck towards long, with one player just lurking outside of the garage. That's MkaeL.
This is what's so good from Gen.G. There is absolutely zero reason for them to actually commit to this one just yet. The longer you wait before you actually execute in, the more TSM are going to be a little bit antsy and might change up their setup. It's actually happening a little bit. You see Wardell is kind of peeking in over towards B. There's one kind of pestering over towards Garage, but the C site itself is held down solo by Subroza. They might be able to overwhelm him. Drone will be there on backup, so I guess the optimal setup is no longer in effect from Gen.G, but this is definitely a lot better to work with than having all rotates out there ready. hazed still, regardless, will find that first kill, and it will be traded out in kind by effys. He has been getting so many important kills, and unfortunately, that's where his reign of terror will end. Taken out by Drone, and GMD just pushing into the garage through the smoke. We'll see a stack of 3 players, all of which want his head. A bit of a strange post plant from Gen.G, but it's a win for TSM regardless.
It is 5-6 now, slowly approaching that 6-6 mark. That I said seemed very unlikely at the time, but now they're making me eat my words. 3 rounds in a row, looking to make it 4. They have everything going in their favor in terms of economy. Look at the buy from Gen.G. We have no armor yet on effys. Looks like he will purchase it up. However, light armor with the Guardian. We have a Bulldog on MkaeL, sorry, and huynh on only a Frenzy with light armor. That doesn't seem like the best to me. huynh, that being said, is 2-8.
Has those knives.
That's true. Does he have the knives? That is a good point then. Knives can act like a rifle in many cases.
Be a really wonderful sign to see them used right here. Last round of the half. Obviously going to be putting everything they possibly can together, stringing maybe not the most beautiful buy in the world. There indeed are the knives coming into effect here, pushing right on through. huynh will be going to do that little jump burst as a dash forward combo. It wasn't as climactic as I thought it'd be, but at least it's good for 1 kill. Rotates quick approaching again from TSM as we enter the 3 versus 3. GMD, a crucial duel loss, actually gives TSM a very confident way back into this round. No matter what, they had a chance, but now they're seeming oh so favorable to take it.
Yes, they are suddenly. Like I said, a little bit late to the party, but better late than never. Lining up now, Wardell. Oh, they tried to go for the double peek, but that just adds insult to injury. What an ending, as Wardell will cement the 6-6. They'll stick the defuse. And at this point, I think TSM have a slight advantage in this map. I generally think it is slightly more attacker-sided. That being said, last time we casted this map earlier, it was more defender-sided. It's all up to how prepared these teams are.
Been a pretty top-heavy game for both GMD and Wardell, and well, it feels like kind of a stereotype at this point, but every time you point out Wardell doing good, I mean, it always seems to come true. He's a really flashy player. You know, sometimes he has his oopsies, but he has been, you know, objectively a really big part of TSM's success so far. Not far behind though. I mean, I have to say, Cutler has been getting some crucial picks as well, and of course Drone holding down the line, but that just kind of passes the eye test. Entering this second half, there's going to be no downtime, just a little bit of a longer duration between rounds, and well, this is where Gen.G can really shine. The defensive side for them is kind of their bread and butter. They love going for these double stack pushes, which indeed they'll have 2 of. Set piece plays over towards short and long A. Not really amounting to much of anything at the moment. This actually might have been hard read by TSM. They seem so keen on the fact that it might be a possibility. Oh, the rotation towards C. This is wonderful.
To free sight, right for the taking. There's one camera here from MkaeL. did put that up and set in garage. That being said, it's going to be a full retake. 5 versus 5. This player once slowly rotates around. Everybody else is as well. Molotov line up a little too late. It would have been fun to see it, but we'll see it later, I'm sure. Now, things slowing down. All 5 players for TSM falling back towards C long. They're going to play the numbers game here, and it's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. Again, post plants in a 5 versus 5 get very chaotic, and this should be no different. I wonder if Brimstone has any smoke. That's what really changes things up here, I think.
Yeah, the chances don't seem great for TSM otherwise. Or excuse me, great for Gen.G, I should say otherwise. It looks great for TSM, don't get me wrong. Well, yeah, as you mentioned, it was going to get chaotic, but it ended just about as quickly.
It did. I was...
I mean, it's just like... What? There's like no way to see all the kills that just happened there. Take your pick of the single one to watch because they basically all happened at the same time and they littered the kill feed with a splatter of red. 7-6, TSM. Now you mentioned that they had a slight lead after the halftime score being 6-6, but now that lead is on paper there as well.
It is a tangible lead. Now hazed with the hold along. He had the ghost out in hand for the ranged duel. A bit foolhardy. He's all the pistols pushed forward. It will be MkaeL to find that kill as now Subroza will entry towards the A site instead. Good read. They only lost 1 player. They didn't try to recommit to the retake to prevent that SMG from being recovered. Instead, they just played the numbers game and went in towards the A site. A free plant is now in store. And I'd say 4 versus 5 in the post plant. That being said, Wardell, Phantom in hand, poised to hold this, along with Subroza to support. Wardell will open it up. The SMG trying to tap away. A little bit of damage here and there, but effys, the classic pistol, finds the double tap headshot onto Wardell. Now things can get a little bit interesting. The Phantom can be recovered, and suddenly the garrison for the defending retake looks much more plausible. Subroza, though, will find one. The classic of MkaeL on the flank. Oh my goodness, it's a 3K! Subroza now in the 1 versus 1. He has the SMG in hand. Can he do it? Time taking away this point, and MkaeL has to get the duel. He will do the damage, but not quite find the kill, and as a result, the bomb or the spike will tick away. It will be Subroza to edge out the duel, and the 4K, 8-6, as TSM take the round by the skin of their teeth. What a round from the classics, though.
Oh my god, I thought for sure he had that upper edge on Subroza, but right back he used. He had time to pop his collar and everything and still find that kill. Well, I'm not going to say it was beautifully played by TSM, but they got it through at the end. Sure, maybe you have to use a run it back that you wouldn't have wanted to.
Watch and learn.
It doesn't really matter all too much if you're getting that score at the end of the day. It is 8-6, as you mentioned, which means they're inching ever closer to victory and keeping their near spotless record on Haven intact. Maybe that map versus, what was it, Bloom again that they lost to was a little bit of a blemish, but they seem to have recovered themselves just fine.
Yes, they have. They look poised at this point to take this tournament. These are the 2 top teams, by the way, on paper, coming out of groups. This should have been the matchup to watch. And lo and behold, we've gotten it. 8-6, TSM looking incredibly good in their second half. That being said, this is the first real sign of resistance. The Classics got close to it in the last round. This time, Gen.G will put up an even greater fight. The question is, can they put the pieces together? Can their strats work out? It looks like they're having a good raid here. Rotating a 3rd player over towards C. Or towards Garage, rather, and towards the C link. Actually, nearly 4 players here. Drone will open it up. GMD, a trade. Player 1 finding Cutler, but hazed into the back with 1 to keep the man count even. As now the site's being taken. Wardell trying to spam the smoke. He'll find 1 through it. Trying to find the second, won't quite do so, but Subroza will pick up where he left him. MkaeL now in the 1 versus 2. He'll get the kill, and the neural threat will come through. He now has a bit of information, but only 8 bullets in the Vandal and 2 kills to find. Combined with now a spike plant, it seems near insurmountable. It's all up to this opening duel. If he can isolate this. Hazed, though, the off angle. Oh, he's caught in transition. That's a kill. He knows where Wardell is as well, or at least has an inkling of an idea as to where he could be. It's all up to the timing. He'll tap the bomb, but he looks in the wrong direction. Wardell will win it. But still a very close round and a very valiant attempt from MkaeL to try and bring it back in his team's favor.
Well, just unfortunate, kind of a 50-50 in that sort of case. Have to choose where you think that duel is going to be coming from, but, you know, Wardell, maybe you know him for Op Academy, but Phantom Academy, Right there towards the end, he had a pretty wonderful round as well. 22 and 8 at the moment. It's hard to ignore that massive kill differential.
This goes here.
And Gen.G, they're just kind of on scraps at the moment, really struggling. And realistically, what can you hope out of this one? This would be a perfect time for Gen.G to try one of their signature double stacks over towards C-Long or something of the sort. And instead, they'll be trying to prod over towards mid-B, where player 1 is dedicated to the cause and not many other people. Wardell again, Phantom Academy, baby. Is showing off with it at the moment, collecting a double kill, searching for number 3, but will get shown up by effys. Or Effy. So I'm not really sure how to pronounce that name. Gotten a lot of names wrong for this tournament, it feels like.
It seems
Like
to be our
we
curse.
need.
It's our curse, yes, indeed.
Something about the French Canadian.
Oh, win! Oh! What? That player must have been tagged mortally low. Shuffling off that mortal coil win. It's the thrifty round, the half fight that works it out. We were talking, we thought this round was done and dusted, and yet here we are, caught with our pants down, and suddenly Gen.G are back into it. I was sure that was 10, that was double digits for TSM. And yet here we are, 7-9, their first round in the second half. Gen.G.
Baffled. I thought the key to victory for Gen.G too would be kind of those solo pushes, solo efforts, and it seems that all you need is for players like huynh to come alive. Can I take one more gander at the scoreboard real quick? I think he's like 5 and something at the moment. He's had a quiet game, but what a way to make some noise. Yeah, 5 and 12. Definitely a wonderful way to make some noise. 2 kills with the shorty towards the end. We'll clutch it out and put Gen.G right back on the radar. Taking gander at the radar, you'll see that this is kind of a battle of duels all over the map here. Wardell is going to take matters into his own hands. To his own knives, and he's gonna get 2 crucial picks. Actually, maybe get a 3rd crucial pick as well. Oh my god, effys, be careful with the territory that you're treading on. It's all gonna be dangerous from here on out. 2v3.
Hayes, though, timing's not in his favor, but effys will turn around. He will find one before falling. But still, what could have been if he spotted that first player? 1 versus 2. It's GMD alone. He knows they're going towards C, so he has the rotation in a timely manner. But it's hazed and it's Wardell, the scary boogeyman that is Wardell. He is at the top frag by far at this point. He is the force in the server, and he is not to be trifled with. And with no smokes to really put him off towards long, it's going to be difficult. He's holding this angle. Oh, it's on GMD to hit the shot, but not a bullet fired. Wardell instead will find the big 3K. 2 with the knives, 1 with the operator, and it will be double digits for TSM.
Thrifty victory after thrifty victory. Apparently those knives end up working to full effect. Last time Wardell used those knives in that retake when they're on an eco, I was a little bit critical of them. I didn't think it was the wisest move because it didn't seem to pan out when it was like a 3v5, but that was, you know, that was a class right there in how to use those knives effectively. That was beautifully done by him. It's, again, hard to deny the impact when he's 27 and 9. He always seems to be showing up in the kill feed. And Gen.G, there's another opportunity for them to show off what they can get done on a round like this. Hunter's Fury right off the bat. And overall, investing a ton of money to make the dream a reality. huynh with the knives will be waiting right around the corner, but GMD will make first contact and make that first frag go to his team's way.
Joke's over.
Out of this. Yeah, he's pushing for a little bit more here. The shotgun knives end up doing a lot of decent work. And Gen.G, they continue to strike even with TSM so far, but the retake is already going to have to fully come into effect. And Drone has a wonderful position before it even begins.
Die.
So they do. Hayes finds 1 with the ultimate. effys now finding 1 in the meantime, but huynh, he has his blades out as well. He'll find that kill, trying to get back in. 3 versus 1. Now it's Drone towards long, using the recon bolt, but it's immediately destroyed. At this point, he's just trying to delay the defuse. The lineups are in, but huynh, in the meantime, peeks over it. He will find his 3rd kill in the round with the knives, and his teammate, in turn, will find the defuse. It will be 8-10, and Gen.G are still looking to make this a game.
We're striking even so far. 10-8 is nothing too shabby so far. I mean, again, with such a tight-knit team like TSM, again, I want to look back at their match history on Haven. It's something like 14-3. I swear I read that somewhere. I want to say it was the spike.gg. So I mean, it really is kind of a scary prospect to go up against. But Gen.G, excuse me, are definitely the team that can strike even with them. They're doing fantastic so far, and actually have another chance to bring the distance between them down to 1. 10 to 8 right now. Player 1 has the right idea on that spam in over towards B. He doesn't seem exactly committed to the fight, but GMD isn't. He is just totally ready to bring these fights immediately to the striking board. And wow, it is over before they can even get into the site. Considering, you know, the half-decent amount they invested into that round, it was almost pretty lackluster.
It was very lackluster. In fact, I think 1 kill in the round.
Thanks.
Very well done from GMD holding that angle. Now 21 kills to his name. Still pales in comparison to the 27 of Wardell. But
Right here.
good fight being put up for his team. That being said, it will be a double operator setup for the defenders and a glass cannon operator for the attackers. Wardell, I still think he'll find some success with this. effys is going to walk up along with the operator. This is a weird call. It could pay off the swing. Oh, he misses it!
Apparently it's still not over though. I didn't think that they would just be trying to take duels immediately after, but they have proven me wrong. In theory, that was a good call by Gen.G, but the shot miss like that, there's no fallback. There's no plan for a double commit. It kind of all falls apart from there. Well, still though, it looks like regardless of giving up that kill early, Gen.G will still finish out this round considerably well. A 4-on-2. Kills can be deceiving though with how that started off, but I guess effys won't go unavenged.
Indeed, the opening engagement went the way of the attackers towards C, but it went the way of Gen.G towards A, and in fact more so. There were 3 deaths there. Now hazed and Jett isolated towards C. They have to go for the spike plant there, and Gen.G are basically encapsulating this site. Look at the map.
And they're at least giving them enough respect to get that spike down. That is a very dangerous thing to give TSM, because that is something to work with. hazed gets a vital kill, but he needs to find 3 more to win this one through. He has a chance. He avoids that breach flash. He'll be ready to double up, take down a couple of players if they come into the field of vision, but
Oh no.
he doesn't care. He's going to do the Wardell to him. It's all evened up. Indeed, it is a reality. 10 to 10. It's delivering. Gen.G, I mean, look, the record between the two has been a bit spotty. TSM have managed to win out most of their previous engagements. And now Gen.G, I mean, this new revitalized form is looking good on them. Maybe no longer do they need the Sage. Something that TSM have adopted seemingly from day one.
The one thing that I know that I didn't mention earlier, I wanted to mention it at the very beginning, but there was no time to fit it in. This is an omenless comp for both teams. No omen. And honestly, we've seen used quite a bit on this map as a duelist, as an entry, whether it be down middle. We saw Phoenix do it for TSM. Just walking down middle, essentially. It works very well with Omen as well, though. effys, what happened? Through the smoke, a double with the ability combined with the spray down. This round, no opportunity for it to really begin. Just a raw hunch and awareness leads to a monumental lead. And then the swing will come in. Drone tries to bite back at the deficit. He'll do his own impression. He gets a double, but Guamon, it's his turn, and this time he'll make it a triple. What a streaky round, but in the end, it ends in favor of Gen.G. Now taking the lead for the first time in forever. For the first time in this second half at 11 to 10.
Those solo efforts were absolutely gorgeous. I'm stunned that worked out so pleasingly well for effys. I mean, he was spraying down the left side. I feel like a lot of time you see players coming up over towards C along hug the left side, I believe. Not so much the cubby side, but I mean, regardless, I don't think that's what did them in at the end. It was GMD who was the definite player of that round, getting those vital last 3 kills. And round by round, I mean, Gen.G are fighting back. Also present, Wardell has gone quiet in recent times, but knowing him, he can pop off at any time. It's the same story with Drone. I feel like he hasn't been kind of put in those aggressive positions that he seems to always thrive in. Much more slower approaches from TSM overall this game. And they seem to really be committed to the idea of full stacking it, full sending it over towards C long. And I'm not 100% sure if I like this. There's no love given to Garage. It's unoccupied by both teams at the moment, but at least they can try to make something work. That is a wonderful first frag to find. As hazed will remove effys, who was a thorn in their side last time around, but huynh is definitely another thorn in the side to be wary of. Has only one bullet left for that operator, so he's going to be forced to reload back off his position, and TSM will back off of theirs just as quickly. MkaeL, he's waiting over towards A, and Nate, this could be round changing.
All up to MkaeL. We talked about this. It's not a spray rifle, but he'll try to spray with it. He'll only find one, though. Wardell, a nice quick scope to come back into it. He'll make that a very short stop. That being said, both these players are low, half or below. Player one trying to hold here. He will find the first, and a spray to the smoke to find the second to cap it off. It's a 12-10 as Gen.G have map. And this is a best of one. Game point.
Producer speaking to my ear that indeed the team that wins this will be going to the grand finals. This is the upper bracket finals, I know, best of one, yada yada, but still, this is incredibly well played by Gen.G. They are looking convincing. It's not over for TSM even if they were to lose this. I mean, before we get that, we'll talk about that after the game. This isn't over for TSM yet. In theory, they only need 2 rounds to force us to OT, and then they can play it out from there. 3 ultimates as well to their name. They're not out. I mean, still, like, I mean, you know TSM. Subroza even had that tweet that seemingly went viral saying, you know, never give up. Kind of the most, you know, most motivational quote I'm sure that all of our teammates in ranked could do with. But it works at all levels of play. TSM, obviously, they are not going to give this one up just yet. They want to finish strong over towards A, but Gen.G have their number again. Look, a third rotate is already coming into play. We saw what player one was able to pull off last time. Maybe he can go ahead and repeat history. Early on here, Nate, what is even going on at this point? Indeed, it is player one showing up again. It's just about done. Gen.G, I think they've just about done it. 2 versus 5 for them to overcome, but it does not seem likely in the slightest. They'll try to close this gap, but he's not going to have a chance, and I don't believe Subroza will either. He's been quiet this entire game, and Subroza, he said to never give up, but unfortunately, I don't think Gen.G respect that idea. 13-10, and TSM have been sent to the lower brackets.
Surprising to say the least. TSM, one of the strongest, if not the strongest team. They've been together. Probably one of the longest standing teams in Valorant thus far. So the fact that they fall here to Gen.G not only shows us how